On today's Glory Days show, the NFL Draft was held this week as the Jets look to make some noise with their number 6 pick. Our draft analyst, Tommy Gatto, will join us to talk about it.
And the first Saturday in May always means just one thing, the Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby.
Our prognosticator, Jerry Schwarzman, returns from exile to give us his fearless predictions.
And it was the end of an era for the Islanders as they failed to get past the Capitals in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Pete Torgerson will join us to talk about the remaining teams and the matchups for round 2.
The best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
EatRadio.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, May 2nd. It's May already, wow. 2015. And you are watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend Bruce Oler. Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass, and you are joining us on the Enravio TV network, broadcasting from Studio C, right here in beautiful Mastic, Long Island, in the great state of New York. Good morning.
How are you, Disco?
I'm doing okay. A little bummed.
Yeah, well, with the Islanders losing, yeah.
And you know, and they're, not only did they lose, but they're done for Nassau College.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll talk a little bit about it. We'll talk the NHL playoffs with Pete. I tell you, there's so many things we're not going to talk about today. A-Rod hit number 660 last night. You know, it's one of those things. But I guess the Baltimore Orioles and the civil unrest they had down in Baltimore, where they canceled the game.
Did you watch any of that?
I did not.
It was surreal.
I can imagine.
You know, they had.
Well, let's fill everybody in on what happened. I mean, basically, they canceled the game, and then another game they were supposed to play, they played in the afternoon with no spectators in the stands. Right. So I guess it was just the broadcasters, and that was it, right? And the players and the umpires.
And they said there were 3 scouts.
3 scouts, really?
That sat
3 scouts were there, huh? Oh, you see. Yeah. Guess they didn't stick out like a sore thumb.
No. But it was weird because, you know, first of all, the game itself only took 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I was wondering if that was because...
Did the organist play?
The organist played.
Yeah?
They did the 7th inning stretch.
Really?
They did the 7th inning stretch.
Okay.
They played the national anthem. They did the 7th inning stretch. The players.
Yeah.
Some of the players came out and made believe like they were signing autographs. And you know, you know, at the end of the inning, when they throw the ball and they throw the ball into the stand, that's what they were doing. When they were coming off the thing, they were throwing balls into the stands. Really? There's nobody in the stands.
Oh God!
And there was a funny clip of remember Gary Thorne, the Islander announcer?
Yeah.
Well, he's the announcer for the Baltimore Orioles now.
Okay.
And there was a play where he decided to do it like it was the Masters. And here's the pitch. Oh, and it's a line drive to center field, and it goes over the head of the second
Really?
It was so funny the way he did it, and but it was just weird. It was just weird and bizarre.
And you know, taking it to this weekend, so now they're playing. They're on the road. They're playing games against Tampa, right, against the Rays, as the home team.
Yes.
Down there, you know, which is going to be just as bizarre. I mean, you know, because all the fans there are going to be the Rays fans.
And how many? How many will actually be there?
You know, I was watching Wednesday. I cut out from work a little bit early and went home. I was watching some of the Yankee game, and during the Yankee telecast, they were saying, "How come they didn't just move these games to Washington?"
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing because
know?
Washington was.
And
Washington is
playing
here.
the Mets.
Yeah, so they could have done it.
Yeah. And you know what they said? They said the owners hate each other is what they said. So they didn't even ask him is what it sounded like.
So I pulled a couple of things that were, and we'll go over them real fast.
Okay.
Social unrest.
Okay.
When President Kennedy was assassinated, it was a Friday. On Saturday, they canceled most of the college football games.
Okay.
Canceled. But Pete Rozelle, remember he used to be the commissioner of the NFL?
Yeah.
He said his greatest mistake as commissioner
had them
was
play
playing
that
that
thing,
game,
huh? Okay.
playing those games that weekend. In 1967, there were riots in Detroit.
Okay.
And there was a home game going on during the riots. They actually told the fans where not to go because there was rioting going on. And Willie Horton, who was actually born and raised in Detroit, he actually went to where the riots were wearing his uniform, hoping that he might be able to help out. But
And what happened? We never saw Willie Horton again.
Willie Horton is dead. No. There was the massacre at the '72 Olympics,
Right.
with the Israeli athletes being
It
killed.
was that long ago, huh?
But they waited 34 hours before they resumed play. I would think that would cancel it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have gone home too.
10-cent beer night.
10-cent beer night, okay.
Okay, Cleveland Indians in 1974. They offered unlimited 10-cent beer, right? But now you would think, and of course there was a riot, and by the time the ninth inning came, they had to forfeit the game. People were throwing crap on the
Everybody got inebriated. Huh?
But you know what?
What?
Do you know how much beer was? What do you think beer was in 1974?
Yeah, you mean regular?
Regular, if you're regular, because they had 10-cent beer night.
Okay, what, for a case you talking? For
No, for a beer at the stadium.
A beer at a stadium, I don't know, a buck.
That's I thought maybe $2.
Yeah.
It was 65 cents.
65 cents. Okay.
So they went from 65 cents to 10 cents, and people lost their mind.
I see.
Now, even if they had a buck night or a $2 night at a stadium today, I can understand this type of chaos instead of $11 a beer.
Yeah, but I think people are much more responsible. They realize they can't drive or they shouldn't drive, you know.
Remember-
Not back in those good days.
Remember Death to Disco night?
Yes, I do.
At Cleveland?
Yep.
I'm still alive. It was between games of a doubleheader in 1979, and they burned disco records on the field, and of course destroyed the field. The LA riots during
Rodney King.
Rodney King. While games got canceled, playoff games got moved.
9/11.
9/11, the San Francisco.
Hurricane Katrina.
You know what?
This could be a show all by itself.
This is another show
We
all
need
by
to take
itself.
a break here, okay?
Yeah.
So we're just getting started here on the Glory Days show. Right after a short break, we'll get back to our hockey maven, Pete Torgerson, on the phone, get his thoughts about the matchups as the Stanley Cup's moving around too, with the conference semifinals. Later on, we'll talk to Tommy Gatto and talk about the NFL draft and upcoming Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather fight, and Jerry Schwartzman with his picks for the Kentucky Derby. Stay with us. Watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Welcome back to the Gloria Day Show with Bruce Disco here on the InRavio TV network. Well, it's the end of an era for the Islanders at the in Nassau County as they fell to the Washington Capitals in Game 7 this week, ending their 43-year run at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Ooh, you got the whole name there.
It was a disappointing end to what started out as a promising season for the Islanders, as they're still looking for their first playoff series win since 1993. But 8 other teams advanced into the round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, including the Rangers. And here to talk about all the conference semifinal matchup is a man who's getting ready to take the ice himself at a men's tournament at Cape Cod.
Cape Cod, all right,
our
Pete.
good friend Pete Torgerson. Pete, you there?
What's happening, boys?
Hey, Cape Cod, not bad, man.
Are you are you decent right now?
Yeah, the game's at 11. I'm having a little pregame out here in the car.
Oh, okay. Well, we were hoping that you'd be semi-naked in the locker room. Actually, we weren't really hoping that. Bonnie was hoping that. But we could care less.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There you go.
So, where do you want to take this? You want to talk about the first round? You want to get right into the second round?
Well, yeah, you know what? The Islanders, they couldn't win that game with 11 shots. They needed more pucks up in them. I was texting you during the game.
Right.
They had to just start dumping it in from the red line or something. I don't know what happened to them. They had such great offense all year, and to let it go in this Game 7, not show up like that in the offensive zone, that was kind of frustrating.
You know, they wound up with 11 shots for the entire game. And the sad thing was only 3 of them were from the forwards.
Yeah.
How do you go a game with even a guy like John Tavares? And, you know, to me, it didn't seem like Washington was doing that much to prevent them. I think they just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, did you see Trotz in the locker room after? That was their plan. They were clogging the middle and keeping everything to the outside, and they succeeded on their game plan. They did a great job just keeping bodies away from the net. They're a big, strong team. I
think the Rangers are in trouble. I don't think the Rangers know what they got themselves into.
The Rangers could be in trouble when you lose with 1 second left. That could have a hangover going into Game 2, 3, 4. You know, if the Capitals come out this afternoon and jump on them quick in the first period and get 2 quick goals, this series could be over quickly.
Yeah, the Rangers are going to be flying today, though. Yeah. I mean, you know, Vigneault, he was talking about you got to play to the whistle, and that was part of what the problem was, that they gave up that goal late. I mean, you know.
What do you think about what? Did you see what the camera caught Ovechkin saying?
No.
Right after he scored on Lundqvist, the camera caught him saying, "All series, all series."
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He's playing out of his mind. That play was unbelievable. That pass back against the grain, what a great play that was. So, yeah, but the first 10 minutes of this game today, I think, is the key to the rest of the series for the Rangers. They got to come out flying, use that speed that they have. Kreider's got to get more involved. They got to run some people over. Kreider should go down his first shift and run the goalie over.
You know, that's a guy I never understand. He's so big. He could be down. I don't understand why he's not dominating play all the time. He's just not, man. It's just a maturity thing with him, I guess. You know.
So, Pete, I can't change my mojo here. So, I think Washington wins this series. What do you think?
You know what? I don't know. I think you
What are you, Sammy Stone?
What's that?
What are you, Sammy Stone?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Rangers on this just because the way they've played all year.
Okay.
But the Capitals are going to be a tough out.
I'm going with Washington in this one myself.
Should we ask him?
Sammy Stone, no. No.
Sammy Stone,
That's right.
tell me the future.
Okay, ask me.
Will the Rangers beat the Capitals?
That ain't gonna happen.
He's going with Washington.
Well,
too.
at least we got a goddamn opinion out of him.
All right.
Now, did you watch the Canadians last night?
Yes.
A double overtime game. I saw some of it. Didn't see all of
I
it.
was in a restaurant, and I couldn't hear what happened. Why did they disallow that goal? Did they say that the forward ran the goalie over?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was goalie interference.
That's terrible.
You know, and I mean, in Tampa Bay, I know this was your pick to get to the Stanley Cup final early in the playoffs, but they had to overcome that 2 game. They were down 2 games. They had to win. I'm sorry, they had to win the final 2 games against Detroit.
Yeah.
And
they
not
did.
only do they win that, but you know, one of the things they were talking about, and people kept saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season, but once you get to the playoffs." I'm sorry, Tampa beat Montreal 5 times in the regular season. They won all 5 games.
Bishop is, I think, 8-0 against them.
Yeah, right in the last their last 8 games, and I just think that's gotta be something. That's got to be a mental block at this point.
Yeah, it's got him in the mind. Now, and then the goal in overtime was offsides by about 10 feet, so that guy's not working anymore in the playoffs.
There you go. Yeah, I tell you, there's been some. My Ranger fan friends were talking about the fact they thought the refs didn't ref a good game for that first game, Thursday night.
Yeah, because they lost, of course.
Exactly right. Exactly. Thank you, Pete.
They got to be consistent for crying out loud.
Yep.
Chris Rooney would ref that game. He's from Boston. He made a great no call when they bumped into the goalie and his helmet came off. The guy has no straps on his helmet.
Hopi, man. It happened 3 times in the Islanders series. It happened 3 times, and each time it happened was the 3rd period against the Islanders.
In college hockey, you have a rule. You have to have this strap underneath that keeps everything on. He doesn't have any straps on the back, near the ears, underneath, nothing.
It's all he's got to do is this. He just goes like this. He dips his head, and that thing comes off.
Yeah, and that's why I think in the first 4 minutes of the game today, somebody should run him over. Full-time hockey.
Chris Kreider.
All right, Mr. B, what do you
Nominate him
think?
to do it.
Tampa Bay or Montreal?
Tampa Bay.
All right, I'm going to go with Montreal. I still think they have, although Bishop was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was. Oh, that was a bad goal he gave up, though.
Yeah.
Did you see that goal he gave up? That was terrible.
Right, yeah.
But I'm going to go with Montreal. Okay, we got Anaheim and the Calgary Flames. Now, Anaheim goes in, they sweep Winnipeg. Then they're off for, 8, 9 days?
Yeah, and they come out and they annihilate Calgary 6-1.
And the Calgary goalie was the Anaheim goalie last year.
Oh, really?
But he left as a free agent to go to Calgary.
This is a no-brainer. You got to go with Anaheim, I think, on this one.
Anaheim is impressing me. Each time I see him, I like him more. I wasn't real impressed with them going into the playoffs, but they are on a roll. They're big, they're strong.
They certainly
grinding.
are.
And I think they're going to pound Calgary. Calgary, they overachieved all year. I think they're just happy to be where they are.
Yeah, I mean, and there's going to be some things that happen in Vancouver, I guess, if they haven't happened already. I mean, that was a favorite team that went down in 4-2.
Yeah.
All right, so let's...
Calgary's got a nice young team. They're going to be around for a while, but Anaheim is just too big and
They're
strong.
dominating, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so the other semifinal in the Western Conference is Minnesota and Chicago. And again, Pete, I know you're rooting for Minnesota because that was your pick. Now, they did come back. They beat St. Louis in the first round 4-2.
Yep.
Chicago beats Nashville in the first round.
Which was also impressive.
4-2. But I still think they have a goalie problem in
Chicago? Yeah, they won 4-3 last night.
Right. But they blew a 3-goal lead.
Yeah.
All 7 goals. I mean, they blew a 3-goal lead. Minnesota came back to tie it. And then Chicago scored to make it 4-3.
Go with Minnesota
and
on
then
these guys.
no goals in the third period. So
Chicago's just Chicago. They're going to come after you. They're going to find a way to beat you. But I'm going with Minnesota still. I like them. I think they're young. They're hungry. They have enough veteran leadership, and their goalie is playing out of his mind. You know, he was a little shaky last night, but I'm still going with Minnesota on that one.
Me too.
how about you, everybody? So we're all going to take.
We're drinking
Minnesota.
that Kool-Aid.
You know, Zach Parise has 4 goals now in the
Zach
in
Parise,
the playoffs.
Suter, they got a nice team there.
You know, but
Now, the
but I don't know
next
what
round-
happens now. What if they don't win that? What if they don't win on Monday? They're going to be
Minnesota?
down. They're going to be down 2 games.
Yeah,
going
but they're
in back
coming
into
home.
Minnesota.
They're coming home.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
head
playing
back.
Chicago right now.
Well, actually, they're playing Sunday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I wouldn't be worried if they go down 2-0.
Yeah.
Because they head back to Minnesota. That's a huge home ice advantage. So, you know, it can go 6-7 games.
It's going to be a 7-game series, I
Minnesota.
think.
So you're in a tournament today, or just a single game?
You know, yeah, an old man's tournament. It's a lot of fun. A bunch of guys that we play hockey with, we come down to the Cape.
Hey, Pete, real quick, I was watching the news the other day. They had some president of a university, I guess, at this big party. You see, that was Quinnipiac. Is what
Oh,
it
really?
was.
Yeah. Yeah, he got in trouble because he said, "I'm going to buy this whole street." You know, he was just goofing around. and then they were playing that song "Cut the Mozzarella," and he was dancing.
There you go.
He's a great guy. He's done more for that school than anyone has ever done, and to hear him get his chops broke for this is ridiculous. But the people are all very sensitive in the neighborhood with the town-gown relationship. So
Yep.
But we need to start the groundswell for a Pete Torgerson in the Hall of Fame.
That's right. We said we were going to do that last year, and we didn't, okay? So we're going to rededicate
Get to
ourselves
work
to
on
doing
will
that.
you guys?
Hey, listen, have fun today in your tournament.
Yeah,
Don't
Pete.
get hurt.
Thanks for checking in with us.
All right, guys. Great talking with you.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Pete. That's our good pal, Pete. Our good buddy, Pete Torgerson.
Yeah, so let's take a break. When we get back, we'll talk about the NFL draft and tonight's Pacquiao-Mayweather fight with Tommy Gatto. And then get ready as Jerry Schwartzman takes over the air for his passion for the sport of kings, laying out his best bets for today's Run for the Rose in the Kentucky Derby. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the InRavio TV network. We're coming right back.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Ooh, that was quick.
Whoops.
That's you.
Oh, welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. It was getting late in the NFL season when it was becoming more and more apparent that the Jets would have a legitimate shot of a fairly high draft choice. Then they played the Tennessee Titans and figured out a way to win that game. That if they would have lost, and they should have lost, I guess they would have went with a better draft pick. So instead of a meaningless Week 15 win over the Titans during a miserable 4-12 season, cost them a legitimate shot at number 2, which Tennessee went up using for Oregon quarterback Marcus Mariota. Instead, the Jets wound up with a player that is arguably one of the top defensive players in the draft, USC defensive end Leonard Williams. On our phone is our resident draftnik. You may know him also as InRavio's movie maven, but he's also passionate about the NFL draft. Please welcome to our program, Tommy Gatto.
How are you guys? How's everything
All right.
going?
TG, how are you?
Very good.
So this was a fairly boring NFL draft this year. There wasn't all the excitement, you know.
You know, I want to start out with, you being the movie maven. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the movie Draft Day?
Yes, I thought it was actually really good.
So did I.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
I enjoyed it, and Tommy, you also play fantasy football, and it's just so funny how the real professional GMs are the same exact things as the fantasy football. We're all not telling each other everything, and we're trying to sneak something in.
Well, it was interesting, when you're talking about the character. I guess the guy that was going to go number 1, basically, that nobody from his team showed up at this party that he got busted at or whatever, But anyway, so the draft itself, as Disco said, I mean, I guess there was, everybody knew who was going to go number 1. It was Jameis Winston, went to Tampa Bay. Number 2 was Marcus Mariota, went to Tennessee.
You know what I didn't understand about that? And Tommy, their quarterback, Metzenberger.
Yeah, Tennessee?
Tennessee's quarterback.
Yep.
Had said that his agent said if they draft Mariota, he wants to be traded.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what he said. So.
I mean, he should thank his lucky stars that he was even going to be a starter. He's a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, he was a 6th-round pick, and he was 0-6 last year.
Exactly. He showed some promise.
He's not coming from a position of strength.
No,
he's
not. So he should just thank his lucky stars.
Trade me right the F now.
Yeah. Does obviously obviously those two guys were the best quarterbacks in the draft. I'm a little concerned about Winston being a knucklehead.
Well, he's not going to be on knucklehead, so who cares? You know what I mean?
Exactly. We don't have him, so.
But
kind of like Johnny Football last year too, right? Another knucklehead.
But at least in Tampa, they've got a couple of good receivers.
Yeah.
They have Mike Evans and stuff like that. They don't have anything in Tennessee.
But Tommy, what do you think about the Jets? I mean, between the offseason moves they made and I think the picks they're making, I think that we're looking at a good team this year, don't you?
I think we're looking at like the beginning of a good team. I think the wide receiver that they got is a little too small, but I like Leonard Williams.
Well,
Yeah,
he
but
was,
I mean, but you got to look at it. This and the free agencies. I mean, they got Brandon Marshall too, man. They got
Brandon Marshall. They
I
shored
agree
up.
with that, but you know what? Brandon Marshall has his own bag of tricks.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you about something that McCakian, is that his name?
McKagan.
The
McGagnon.
whatever his name is.
Okay. Yeah.
The general manager. He's got a lot of M's and C's in his last name.
McCagnon, I think it is. Yeah.
At any rate, they were asking him, if the Jets had tried to trade up, or why they would take the only player that they really didn't need, as far as trying to fill. The Jets were filled with holes.
Yeah, but their philosophy is the best player available.
Right, and he did say something which I thought was really interesting. He said, when you've got that high of a draft choice, if you can't fill your need with a player that's up there, they said you can't reach for somebody. Like they could have gotten a quarterback. You can't reach for somebody. They said, so you take the best available player. So, Tommy, what does this mean for now for Wilkerson?
Exactly, and I think that was part of the reason. The first reason I agree is that he was the best player available at that moment.
Right.
But there was another thing in the back of their heads that Muhammad Wilkerson, I don't know what's good. They're really not sure what's going to happen with him. I mean, it would be sad to see him go, but if he
and
does
listen,
go,
and you know what? If the Jets could make 2 AFC Championship games with Mark Sanchez as their quarterback, they might be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, and they made it obviously on their defense. If they could just teach Geno Smith how not to turn the ball over.
Well, that's what it is. It's protecting the ball. I mean, they're going to have an overwhelming defense. They got 2 good running backs. But like
now.
I said, what's going to happen to Wilkerson? Wilkerson could get traded, and they'll get somebody for him. But we'll see.
They've got a running back now. They've got a couple of pretty good receivers now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, everyone talks about. I know, and not just you guys, but the analysts. They talk about Geno Smith. Guys, I don't think he's going to be the starter coming at the game. I think Fitzpatrick's going to be the starter.
Yeah, probably.
You know what?
I mean, and that was another off-season move that McCagnon or whatever we call him, made.
Like
Geno
Worcestershire
can't even throw a check down accurately. I mean,
Yeah.
at least Fitzpatrick can deliver the ball,
True.
10 yards to an open dude.
Now, we got to switch gears here because we only got a few minutes left with you, and this fight, which really I'm just not a fight fan, But a lot of people are excited about this thing, so
I'm kind of excited.
So, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Mayweather's going to win another decision, just like he's just going to do the same thing he's been doing throughout his whole career, and I'm just hoping for a competitive fight.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Boxing has been, I wouldn't say on the decline, but it's certainly not as popular as it was. Maybe because there's really no great, boxing relies on heavyweights. Everybody wants to see 2 monsters beating the crap all out of each other.
Everybody, I don't think
I'm just saying, the fight fan.
Okay. Yeah.
But even the casual fight fan enjoys the heavyweights when they fight. There really haven't been any good draw heavyweights. Now, this fight is generating, they're talking about it generating over $400 million in revenue.
Incredible.
The price of the fight alone is $99 or however much it is today.
What's a ringside seat cost, do you know?
$85,000.
$85,000, huh?
Now, Tommy, let me ask you, since you are a fan of boxing, now obviously these guys are welterweights. They're in the 170, 180.
Yeah, they're not the heavyweights.
Okay, but how important to boxing is this fight? What happens? What happens if
everyone says that about these big fights? Is it going to be the fight to save boxing? And I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't really matter. Boxing is going to stay like this for quite a while. It's going to be like the Kentucky Derby. Once a year, there's going to be a semi-big fight that people are going to want to see, and that's going to be it until next year. This is the way boxing is, and it all stems from the fact that the promoters of boxing are in charge of boxing and not the fighters. There's no league that's like regulating boxing. Just like all the other sports, the best teams, the best players will face off. You know that's going to happen. UFC, there's one guy in charge of everything. You know that the champion will fight the second best or the third best guy. Boxing, the promoters, all they want to do is match up their fighter with a safe guy or someone that they're going to make money off of, and that's it. It's not about giving the fans what they want, and that's the problem with boxing.
And this is not going to change that.
No, I don't think so. Not at all. Because
Now, if this fight somehow turns out to be something as ridiculous as a draw,
oh God.
okay, is it going to make money if they rematch?
Yeah, it will make money, but I don't think it's going to make as much money as this fight will make.
Is a rematch? Will a rematch happen only if Pacquiao wins?
I think I mean, people say that a rematch will only happen if Pacquiao wins. Honestly, I think win or lose, I don't see how the other fighter is going to want to face anyone else.
Yeah.
Based off the money that they're making.
Well, yeah, they're talking about how Mayweather gets a 60-40 split of the prize money.
Yeah.
Which could, of course, be $400 million. He can get
Ridiculous.
to $250 million. And 5 years ago, they were supposed to fight 5 years ago.
2009, yeah.
But they had a problem coming together because of the drug testing.
That's right.
And since then, Pacquiao got beat twice since then. And
well, I only count one of those as a loss.
Well, but one was his last one. He got knocked out in the last fight.
I say I don't like it, then I'm laughing. He's going to get knocked out. I don't know, man. You know? Maybe I do like boxing.
But it was a complete knockout, not a technical knockout. Boom. You know, but both of these guys have beaten all the top guys in their class.
All right.
You know, Oscar De La Hoya.
Still, it's not a heavyweight match, though. I
No. But you know what? It's at $90, $100. It's got to be a good show. It's got to be.
Who's doing the between matches entertainment?
Oh,
Madonna singing or something?
No, there's nobody like that.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any naked wrestling or anything to keep people interested. All righty, so you watching that fight tonight?
I will be ordering the fight. If you want to come by.
Oh, it's at your house tonight.
I'm going to be ordering it.
What's that address?
Listen, just charge $10 a head.
There you go. I don't think you can do that. I think that's illegal to do.
Just take $10 from everyone.
A contribution.
A contribution. All righty, Tommy.
Great talking.
Wait a minute, you didn't say who's going to win. Oh, you said Mayweather.
He did say that.
Mayweather will win a decision, just like he's done his entire career.
I think he knocks him out.
Okay.
I'm going with a knockout. All righty, T.
All righty.
We'll talk. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That is our good buddy,
Tommy
Garrow. Time for another break here on the Glory Day shows. When we get back, we will turn the show over to Jerry Schwarzman, and he'll tell us all you need to know about today's 141st running of the Kentucky Derby. Stay with us. You watch the Glory Day show with Bruce Disco only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural.
And organic.
But strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. For over 60 years, Hansen Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hansen Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansenCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hansen Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. Last year at this time, our next guest came on the show to talk about the Run for the Roses at Churchill Downs, the first leg of horse racing's Triple Crown, the Kentucky Derby. Everything was going well for him until he absolutely guaranteed that California Chrome was going to win the Triple Crown at the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was never heard from again. Whether it was a self-imposed reclusion or a court-ordered stint in the Witness Protection Program, we have coaxed him out of his shell, and he joins us right now on the hotline. Please welcome the bravest man I know and our good friend, Jerry Schwarzman. Jerry, how are you?
I'm great. I send everybody greetings and salutations from His Excellency.
So how are you, man?
Well, it's been an emotional day already, and it's just getting started. I'm sure you've read Benny King died. And,
yeah, it was yesterday. Yep.
Yes.
And I remember one of the last times walking through Penn Station, some street artist there was singing Spanish Harlem. And
okay.
That was the immediate thing came to mind.
It wasn't Stand By Me, huh?
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Stand By Me was always my favorite.
He's got a lot of great ones. That is sad news.
Moment, Save the Last Dance for Me.
Yeah.
There Goes My Baby.
You know, we've lost a lot of great artist in just the last month or so.
Percy Sledge.
You know? Percy Sledge, about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's just, I guess we're getting old.
Yes, that is true.
Well, I have something to perhaps pick things up.
Okay.
What did the racehorse say when it fell?
Ouch.
I'm falling, and I can't giddy up.
Where's the rim shot?
Here we go. Bada-boom.
Babu.
I was waiting for that one, Jerry. Okay, now we can get talking about the Kentucky Derby here.
All righty, Jerry. So, you know, there are, it's a big field today, as usual.
21
for the
horses?
Kentucky Derby.
Anybody been
scratched, do you know, Jerry?
There are 2 scratches. It's a field of 19.
Okay.
Stanford got scratched, and El Kabir got scratched.
Who got scratched?
El Kabir.
Okay.
And he got a late scratch yesterday. It was after the 9 o'clock deadline, so it was too late to put the other alternate in. So they're going to run in a field of 19, and the first post position is going to be left open.
Really?
Oh.
Everybody slides over.
But doesn't that mean the guy in number 2 is still the first post position?
Yes.
It's just instead there's 2 feet.
Is that like ours goes to 11? Yeah. Is that what that is? I don't know.
Hey, remember, fellas, I was in night school, so don't ask me anything too tough when it comes to math.
Well, you know, when they talk about post position, Ocho has got the first post position, but I guess now the second post position. But he was 50-1 anyway. But the big story is one of the favorites. Is it Carpe Diem? Carpe Diem?
Carpe Diem.
Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a Todd Pletcher horse. Okay.
Well,
he's number 2.
This is a pretty outstanding field. It's the best field they've had in a long time. The 4 top horses, American Pharoah, Dortmund, Carpe Diem, and these 3 horses, excuse me, they're 17-2, and they're 10-0 in 2005.
Right.
I mean, this is a tough field. I've got the other horse here. I can't recall. It's Materiality.
Materiality. Okay.
Right.
There was my wife's voice from the bathroom.
Hello. now Dortmund is kind of in the middle somewhere. He's at the 8th position, so he's not in terrible shape. But American Pharoah is way out there. American Pharoah, I guess, will be second to last now since he's 18. How much does that matter?
Well, you're making a good point, because in a race like this, there's always front speed, especially on a fast track. So you figure the field's going to get a good jump from the gate.
Right.
And American Pharoah, if you look at his charts, he likes to set his horse somewhere between 2nd and 4th, just off the pace, in a good striking position. It is a major factor how much energy he's got to expend to position his horse where he likes to run. And when he sets him up at the top of the stretch to start that long head bob, we'll see how much he had to leave getting there.
I mean, everybody seems to be talking about Dortmund.
Kent Dortmund.
Well, that's where you try to stay cold, calculating distance when you look at the charts. But I will tell you, you remember the horse Zenyatta?
No.
Oh, Zenyatta was a horse that retired 19-1, and in 2010 at Louisville, she tried to retire in the Classic in her last race, and she just lost through a fabulous stretch run to an unbridled. Zenyatta was 17-2 in terms of hands.
Wow.
Dortmund is a monster himself at 17. Big horses normally don't run well; they lug too much.
And that's another horse. That's a horse that hasn't lost a race yet.
Exactly, and he's a real stud. And this horse is strong and can run forever. So, the chalk will be American Pharoah and Dortmund coming down the stretch.
All right, let's talk about the next set of horses that kind of have a shot. This group includes a lot of the 15-1, 20-1 guys. International Star. Do any of these horses really have a shot?
Well, that's a good point. There's these 2 studs that we just talked about, and there's this middle group. And in the middle group, there's 3 horses that are of interest. Materiality, who's really shown he can run, but he's very lightly raced. So he's very inexperienced, and he didn't run as a 2-year-old. But I think he's shown a lot of talent and will be there.
But no horse has ever won the Derby since the 1800s that hasn't run as a 2-year-old.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But Frosted and Upstart and Mujabi, Mubtaji, whatever it is. Mutahij, is that how you pronounce it? Those guys.
You obviously took the Rosetta Stone.
Yes. Is it obvious?
That horse? But that horse, he's from obviously Dubai, and he's never run here on American soil. So,
exactly, and the problem when looking at a horse like that, if you look in the charts, all they show you is the finish and the time. They don't show you how the race sets up. and you don't have as much information to work with. He has an outstanding trainer, an internationally known trainer from South Africa.
Yes.
And which brings the credentials. So he is the second horse. Yeah.
Right now, but his trainer, Mike DeCock, K-O-C-K, for those of you with juveniles, he's never had a horse finish less than second in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to consider that guy. Then there's a...
Is that a dog horse then, you would say?
I would say he's a dog horse.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe he's black. Color.
He's a bay colt is what it says. No, yes, a bay colt, whatever that means.
I don't know. So then there's a group that we're putting into a category of long shots.
Well,
those guys are the 30 to 1s.
If I could just mention Frosted and just really quickly mention that Frosted had a breathing problem that developed a couple of races ago. They say they resolved it, and his last start was very impressive. So he may be a consideration as well.
Is he getting a breathing strip on his nose like California Chrome?
Yeah, exactly. He's got the oxygen.
Well, you know what? That guy, at least, he's proved he could run. He could run here in New York. He won the Wood Memorial at Aqueduct. He won by 2 lengths.
Disco, I'm impressed with your research here.
Listen,
man.
you know what? Newspapers are a wonderful thing. All right, so we've got these long shots. Let's just put them up for everybody to see who they are. There's a bunch of 30 to 1s. Danzig Moon. Now El Kabir has been scratched. Bolo Stanford. It's a knockout. Far Right. All these horses are 30 to 1. But Stanford and It's a knockout are both.
Because I didn't see my sentimental favorite there.
Oh well, wait a minute. We also have the no shots.
Okay. Yeah.
Now the no shots are 50 to 1.
Okay.
Okay.
That looks like.
And the no shot has who I thought would be the guy you would bet on.
What's that?
Mr. Z.
That's exactly right. Mr. B bets for Mr. Z. You know?
And you know what? He's only won 1 of his 13 lifetime races, but he finishes in the money almost every time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's sired by Orb.
You're not going for Mr. Z, huh, Jerry? Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
You're not buying, huh?
The funds are low, so I got to be real careful with this one.
It's not the steak, it's the sizzle, man.
I will give you a long shot since I got my plane ticket to hit, and my plane takes off for parts unknown right after the race. But Far Right is an interesting bet. Far Right is a closer. He is familiar with the Churchill Down track, which is one of the few horses in the race that really have any experience on the track. He's making a big jump in weight, but he shows that he likes to run long. And if he can handle the additional poundage that they're going to put on him, he could be an interesting bet if you got $2 to burn.
So Far Right. Now, give me. Obviously, we already talked about the couple of horses you thought that you had a chance to win. Who do you think will win the race?
Well, I'm going with Dortmund.
Dortmund.
I would, and it's only because I can't. I'm still not over the Zenyatta loss in 2010. I just can't put it behind me. What I think that this horse is a big horse and runs real easy, and the tout on him is that he likes to run long as well. Watch this horse stride down the stretch and make up a lot of ground, while other horses will start to tighten up and will shorten up. I think the American Pharaoh may be the best horse in the race, but the bad pole position really is hurt him. American Pharaoh also is an Ahmed Zayed horse, and here's a guy who's known nothing but bad luck. Ahmed Zayed has never won the Kentucky Derby. He's finished second in 2009, 2011, 2012, and another favorite got scratched just in the week before the race. So I'm banking that Dortmund, although not as experienced as American Pharaoh and coming in with a little less fanfare, is a horse that physically is ready for a race like this.
What do you like? Give me at 6:24 p.m. What kind of ticket are you holding?
Well, I got a few, and we've talked about them. I've got Dortmund, and there goes the second mortgage. I'm going to put materiality and mustache only because of the unknowns, and you'll get better pricing on that.
I see.
Far right is going to be my long shot, and I'll burn $2 of liquor money on that. and upstart will be for my sister-in-law, because this horse is a New York-bred horse, and she knows the breeders. And she said she made an impassioned point this morning about wasting money on that. So,
never finished out of the money, upstart.
There you go.
Right, exactly. And then I'll be heading in a cab out to the airport and catch my 7:30
about 6:28.
Catching a flight to Dubai.
All right.
Now that exactly.
All right, Jerry.
Great talking to you, Jerry.
There's going to be 127,000 mint juleps drunk today, and I'll see how many of those I can account for myself.
Keep up the good work.
All right.
Okay. Thanks,
man on the
fellas.
street.
Enjoy the day.
All right, Jerry.
Thanks a lot,
thank
Jerry.
you.
Bye-bye.
That's our good pal Jerry Swarsman and his fearless horsey prediction.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
You know, and I remember our good pal Timmy the Trotter used to say that the worst race to handicap is always the Kentucky Derby because there's so many horses.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost out of time here. What a show. We're going to take a 2-minute break, come back, we'll wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us, watch the Glory Day Show. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. And boy, what a show today.
I was really worried about that we have enough time to cover all the subjects, and somehow we did.
We could have done a show.
And that's
for each
because
one
the
of
booth was keeping us honest here, man, which is always a good thing to do.
Right. So now today, what a day of sports for you today. It's a Saturday. Here's what you got to do. You start with the NFL draft on ESPN at noon. Right after our show.
That's a bore. What are they, up to the seventh round?
It's only for a half hour.
Okay.
Because then at 12:30, you're putting on the Rangers and the Capitals.
All right, it's gotten better.
Okay. Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah.
1:30.
Wow.
First pitch. Okay. If that gets boring, at 3 o'clock, you want to talk about a great boxing match? Ali Foreman is on ESPN Classic at 3 o'clock.
Not Mo, Larry, and Curly?
Not Mo, Larry,
That
and
wasn't
Curly.
a good boxing match.
Kentucky Derby, 6:24.
Okay.
But that only lasts for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Mets and Nationals tonight, 7 o'clock. If you're a basketball fan, Game 7, Spurs and Clippers tonight, starting at 8. And, of course, at 11 o'clock is the fight of the century.
Fight of the century.
It's only been 10 years, 15 years, so there hasn't been too many fights. Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work and making us look so good out here. Thanks to our guest today, Pete Torgerson, for helping us out with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tommy Gatto, NFL draft and the big fight. And, of course, Jerry Schwarzman with his fearless predictions on the Kentucky
Now, did you
Derby
call it the
tonight.
big fight for any particular reason?
Yeah, 'cause
like
it's a
the big
fight.
game?
It's
You
like
know?
the big game.
Okay, all right.
Well, they don't have an official word for it. It's not like a super fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week. And, of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days On Demand page on www.inravio.com and watch any of our past shows or any of the other great InRavio shows. Enjoy a great weekend. Rangers, Kentucky Derby, Pacquiao, Mayweather. Just have a great weekend, everybody, and stay safe. And we will see you next week.
InRavio.com. InRavio.com.